leading the charge to make the 2024 Broker Carrier Summit possible, and we are so excited to have their support. In case you haven't heard, TAFS offers much more than freight factoring. It provides a comprehensive support system for trucking companies of all sizes, specializing in fast and efficient invoice factoring with the ability to pay carriers in as little as 1 hour. And TAFS services go well beyond factoring, offering a fuel card that unlocks major fuel discounts, flexible business loans that are designed to cater to the distinct needs of a carrier's operations, a dedicated, responsive client experience team, and much more. Black Box Logistics is a 3PL freight brokerage based out of Birmingham. Alabama. Black Box Logistics was formed in 2020 by 3 friends, Logan Dyer, William Graves, and Will Hopkins, in a basement office with the goal of bringing transparency around the clock communication and hassle-free customer experience to the table. LoadBase is a logistics software solution that simplifies the process of tracking carriers. Multi-service fuel card, the industry's first fuel card, was created by an over-the-road truck driver in 1978 to offer a safe, simple, and cost-effective way to handle fuel and trucking expenses. Initially, it addressed safety concerns of carrying cash on the road. Today, it combats advanced fraud with best-in-class technical and personal support. Sales-CRM is built for freight broker and agent sales teams. Manage your shipper prospecting and follow-ups. Organize your carriers in the lanes they run. HD Ships is a leading logistics provider specializing in sustainable and tech-driven freight solutions. With hubs in Reno, Phoenix, and London, we deliver comprehensive services, including full truckload, expedited cross-border, and intermodal freight. Leveraging proprietary technology, we offer 24/7 tracking, real-time visibility, and advanced automation to ensure safe, compliant, and efficient transportation. Our commitment to sustainability enables clients to offset emissions through carbon credits, aligning logistics with environmental goals. At HD Ships, we prioritize transparency, reliability, and exceptional customer service, empowering clients to achieve seamless, sustainable logistics solutions worldwide.
Okay.
What's happening?
Hold on, John. I'm gonna take y'all for a quick minute so we can do our intros. How's it
going?
going?
Are we starting with all 3 of us? That's new.
Yeah, I'll do a quick shout out. Looks like we got JJ backstage as well.
Good stuff. Well, shout out to our sponsors, Multi-Service Fuel Card, been around since I just saw a post of theirs today. I forget exactly. It was some news from them, but they check out their page. They're constantly doing stuff. I'm getting their name out there. Great fuel card, been around since 1978. Patricia, Jessica, great people. Black Box, Will's company, HG Ships, where I recruit agents for. Load Base, new office. They're expanding. They're growing. I know you've demoed their product, and it's pretty fantastic.
Yeah, it's live tracking as opposed to a lot of the software that's out now. It pings on, say, 10, 15-minute increments. But yeah, Stan, they've got a great product, and it's they've got a cool story as well. Bootstrapped company. They took a lot of time developing their product. So if anybody's in the market for tracking or wants to explore some options, I would highly recommend getting in touch with Stan and Loadbase.
100%. Sales Dash CRM, freight specific CRM, making a lot of moves in the logistics space. Growing. I know your company uses it. We have some agents that use it. Actually know a lot of companies that use it now. Just great people, Josh and Drew over there.
Yeah, man, we love Sales Dash. It's freight centric, so it's built out for freight people, right? So it's very intuitive. You don't have to build anything out. Whereas with a software like Sales Dash, you kind of got to go in and format it. And then we've got our banner sponsor, TAFs.
Yeah, and don't forget JJ and Trio do all of our back end or posting. Great to have them as well. Yeah, TAF's top 10 factoring company, Kansas City based. Rob, Ryan, great people.
Awesome. Well, let's go ahead and throw these guys in the mix. We've got John Rogers, and then we've got JJ. How's it going, guys?
What's happening, guys?
Hey, what's going on?
How's my hair?
Your hair is good, JJ. You have the best hair out of everybody on here.
Dude, I'm losing it, man. I'm like trying to keep it there. Like I use a lot of products just to keep the 3 strands that I have on here. See,
it's looking good. So, just for those that don't know, where you guys join us from? John's got from the Caribbean, and then JJ, where are you down in Miami right now?
Yeah, I'm chasing John.
Yeah,
I love it. I love his lifestyle, man. The guy just posts and makes money.
Yeah, can't hate it.
Dude, and drinks fucking Bud Light. Look at this guy.
Yeah.
Anybody that drinks fedora or wears a fedora, drinks Bud Light's okay with me. Just to say, just putting it out there.
What are you drinking? Well, I got the Fiji water.
Yeah, no, I'm just drinking water out of a water bottle. John, fill us in on your day. You were talking a little bit backstage. You had a pretty good one.
Yeah, man. So I've been grinding since this morning. First phone call about 4:15. I've made over 20 grand today in unexpected business, and I probably just finished up within the last 30 minutes or so. So I hopped in the shower. My family's showering, getting ready for dinner at 5. So I'm up here at deck number 16. The pool is. I've got the pool behind me. If you can see it there. And there's a live reggae band over here playing, and I'm over here by the lime and coconut bar drinking a cold beer, talking to you guys.
Have you jumped on the water slides yet?
My son and I have been on them every day, and they're great. There's one that you stand up in, they push a button, and the floor just drops out, and it's like almost a 90 degrees down and then comes out in water, and it's the first time. I don't know why, man. It was a hell of a rush. So there's 6 different water slides. We've done them all. They're great fun.
Good stuff.
Awesome. Hey, when you say unexpected business, is that just new lanes from existing customers?
Yeah, that's just hot stuff that needed to be moved ASAP. Most of my business is planned out weeks in advance, or at least a week in advance. This was just some hot stuff that needed to go ASAP. So obviously I got that taken care of, and every one of those. So it was probably about 9 or 10 loads, and all of them were regular carriers. I just picked up the phone and said, hey, I just called Sergi up with MDS. I said, hey, I've got a Cinnamon Philly to Kansas City. I need you on. Boom, done. Then, hey, I've got to pick up 2 out of Chicago to St. Louis. Boom, done. So all those were done. I used one board carrier out of all those today.
That's how it's done. Well, hey, JJ, how about you fill everybody in? You've got your hands in quite a few pots. You're one of those people, every time I'm talking to you, you've got a new project or just always exciting things, traveling a lot, recently named to the DCS board. Fill everybody in on kind of what you've got going on.
Just a little bit of everything, man. Obviously, we have our offshore team in the Philippines, and then I have some projects here that I do some consulting for trucking companies and help with their processes. Right now, it's pretty difficult in trucking. Like the rates obviously impact how they're working. Obviously, what they're purchasing, right? The purchasing powers were a couple of years ago when it came to trucks. A lot of them were purchasing $220,000 trucks because they had no choice. It's not because they didn't want it. It's because they wanted to, right? It's because that's what the market was. Now the rates are dipped, so they have to use technology to lower their costs and make sure that they keep the right amount of staffing involved with their company, so they don't look like idiots when they're delivering John's freight. Right? We're trying to work with people like John, so I'm trying to consult for people, but we're also developing a network out in South Texas and California with a group of Mexican carriers, trying to really establish that brand. I don't know if you guys are aware that about 18,000 loads come across the Laredo border. That's every day. And that's a big impact to the economy here. Obviously, the things that Trump's doing has slowed it down. I was down there at the border. I'm not joking. There was like 5 miles of trucks because they were inspecting each truck coming over. So it actually interferes with what the product that comes in and how fast it comes in, right? And maybe that's why John's getting last minute hot shot. It's like and saying, hey, I got to move this stuff like right away. Stuff like that impacts things. So developing that, became a board member of the BCS. I have a large carrier network, about 10,000 carriers in my phone, or 10,000, even I would say 50,000 trucks or so. And not everybody's equal, right? There's some really good carriers that I know. There's some really bad carriers that we try to get rid of. And anybody that contacts me that's a bad carrier, we try to get rid of. They don't need to be part of the industry.
Yeah. Well, a quick shout out to Trio. So Black Box utilizes Trio for some of our operations. They do an excellent job. So anybody interested in offshoring anything, they do a fantastic job kind of building out SOPs. The floater thing's fantastic too. So what they've done with Black Box is say we have 4 reps, there's a 5th one that fills in if and when somebody's sick. So if I'm using a different company for a weekend shift and they have surgery, this is a real example actually. Our weekend shift guy has surgery. There's no backup. Whereas if it's through Trio, there will be a backup fill-in. So thank you guys for the work that you've done with us and Black Box. We've really appreciated the partnership and continuing to build out those teams in the Philippines.
It's great, man. I love seeing you dance videos every now and then that remind me of the Magic City, you know?
On the Magic City. He loves to send me videos of like Amish people doing some like strange dances that's just wildly uncomfortable. And so it makes me think of the Magic City, which is what I call Birmingham. Birmingham natives call it the Magic City. Nobody else calls it the Magic City, but I think
we call it the Magic City.
Yeah.
We had some good times down there for that.
Dude, it's awesome.
Yeah, it was good.
I mean, Matt almost moved there until his incident, right?
Yeah.
Not me. The other.
Not Matt. Yeah. Trio Matt.
So yeah, just for anybody listening that has no idea what we're talking about, we had our grand opening Black Box and JJ and Matt, who he works with, came down and a homeless man attacked Matt one night, and he had to fight him off. He tried to steal his phone. So so I guess that's the magic that we found. We're downtown, near the office, but yeah, he was assaulted by a homeless.
We should have had Matt come on the community.
He's in the Philippines, so we landed a couple of top 100 trucking companies. He's in the Philippines with training, so
I'm sure he's having a good time there.
I mean, honestly, I don't know how good of a time because he's working some of our days and then some of our nights, so he's going back and forth, which is confusing, right? Because we have a lot of nighttime. Our nighttime dispatchers work their daytime, right? So he's making sure the training's going well with the new customers.
Yeah, but he had sent me an email at like 11:30. Maybe it was Monday. He's like, "Sorry, I'm working the 3rd shift." Then I spoke to him on the phone at like 9 a.m. I was like, "Is this guy?"
It's so weird, man. Like he texts me like in the middle of the night, then middle of the day. I'm just like, "When are you sleeping?" But he's lost 10 pounds over there, just working. But he's eating like 5 meals a day. Everybody's trying to feed him.
How's the food there?
when I was there, it was great. The fruit there, I mean, is amazing. So everything's fresh. There's you buy fruit that's literally last 2 days, and it's really organic. Anything that you want, they'll cook. You know, I don't know if I eat dog. I'm going to tell you the truth. I don't know if I did. Could have. I didn't see any dogs out on the street, so could have happened. Don't know. But
I
shout
ate
out to
farm
the
raised.
Philippines.
I ate farm raised possum once. It wasn't bad. Anything with barbecue sauce just tasted like barbecue sauce.
That's great.
What do you eat
What's
out there,
going on
John?
your? Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, what's going on in your guys' world? I know you guys like box is obviously growing. I know Matt, you spent some time in Colombia. I love Colombia.
You're going back soon, right, Matt?
Yeah, the plan is to go back soon. Yeah, I had a good time in Colombia. It's a great country, great people, great. The food is really good there too. I didn't realize that like the beef and some of the other food that's like made local and not shipped is like I thought the hamburgers there are better than the U.S. So.
Oh boy, big time! I agree with that.
That goes for the food.
Yeah.
The food.
Yeah. That's what. Well, we'll just go with that because we know that's not the truth.
Yeah, it's a little bit more exciting than what I've got going on. I mean, yeah, just we're onboarding some people, so I'm pretty much just in the office in the Magic City. I don't have any real big plans coming up. We're pretty busy in house, so some of the not so much fun stuff, but the necessary needed stuff to kind of scale. So I've got that going on, but yeah, I'll be living vicariously through Matt as he's in Colombia. I'm sure I'll be texting him often for updates on his adventures.
We have one of our agents who wants to come too, so maybe we're both going to go together. We'll see.
You guys, are you guys going to any events here soon?
I wanted to go to the Broker Carrier Summit, just kind of interfered. I still might go. I might come back from Colombia. So it's a great event. By the way, we have a code, 2 Dawgs. If anyone wants 10% off the Broker Carrier Summit, we need to start pushing that a little bit more.
Numerical 2 Dawgs.
Yeah, 10% off if you use that code.
John, you signing up or what?
I think there's going to be one in Charlotte. Is that correct?
Yeah, let's not push it to Charlotte. There's all kinds of people that want to meet you in Indy, including myself.
Well, what day is Indy? What's the date?
28th through the 2nd.
Of what day? I mean, of what month?
Of April.
I've got to go to Vegas. I believe I'm in Vegas on May the 5th through the 8th. So I don't know if I can swing that, but if I can, I'll go.
Cinco de Drinko, got it, man. I love Vegas too at Cinco de Drinko.
I'm helping a guy that he's got a separate business, and he wants me to help him grow his business in the hospitality. It's something to do with hotels and stuff, and we've been back and forth. Actually, I talked to him today, and we're going to kind of probably do so I told him I would go out to Vegas with him. I think it's the 5th through the 8th, so we're going to do the diversified supplier angle because, obviously he's in a minority, and I'm going to try to help him with that angle to get into Hilton, IHG, Marriott. So we'll see if that works out for him.
Let's touch on that. So John, you're known, or at least I know you for logistics and brokering freight, right? But you've got your hands in quite a few pots. Different businesses. You got the vending machine thing going, real estate. Mm-hmm. You just kind of tell us what all you have going on there, all the ventures that you're a part of.
I've been part of real estate since about 1996. I started flipping houses, and I lost my ass on the first one because I put, and this is in West Virginia, so I can't remember the exact number, but I bought a house for like $50,000. But I put too much in it because I was putting in nicer items like I was going to live there. And what I should have done is I should have just put in the cheap stuff, like a $15 light instead of a $70 light, So I didn't make any money on my first flip, but then I learned from that mistake and then started making better decisions on flipping houses. So I flipped some, kept some, rented some. I lived in most of them that I flipped. So I would fix them up, live in them, then sell them, and then I would buy another one, and I would just keep going and going and going. So I own 12 rentals. I own a house in Florida, my house in Tennessee. I own 100 and some acres in Wyoming, 22 miles from the foothills of Yellowstone, about 20 some miles from Cody, Wyoming. That'd be the closest airports. Then I did the vending machines. Now I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know that I would have done that again. You make about 20. I'm clearing about 1,700 a month. Clear. But I got a lot of work involved in that. So sure, if you had 10 machines, that's clearing 1,700, $2,000. I mean, you can see what that number adds up to a month. There's definitely good money and a good margin. It's convenience. And then of course I stumbled in logistics, coming out of the car business. And I figured it all out. I got really good at it. I was making Parnell gobs of money, and I'm like, shit, why am I going to make them all this money? I'm going to make myself this money. So, of course I went the agent route, fought a non-compete, non-solicit, and then, I'm still in it. And I'll be honest with you, if I would have known this business was this lucrative 20 years ago, because people ask me, like, John, why don't you scale? And I'm like, look, I'm 52. I'm done. And I've got a few more years in it, and then I'll do something else, or at least in the trenches. But if I had known this money was this good and this lucrative, 20, 25 years ago, I'd have had a Wolf of Wall Street. Man, we would just be grinding it out, partying. I mean, we wouldn't have the booze, the strippers, and the hookers and the blow, but we would have a hellacious good time in the business. So that's kind of my story, guys.
Yeah, that's
I'll
awesome.
be back in 1 second, guys. Sorry.
Right.
Man, so my experience with the vending machine, I got a black box strap vending machine. I was going to put it in the office, and I messed up. I didn't look at the dimensions when I wouldn't fit through the door, so I had to put it in the shared hallway in our building, and they made me move it out because it was a fire hazard. So now I have a very large vending machine in my driveway with a black box strap.
Just send it to me. I'll use it.
Man, yeah, I can send it to you. Yeah, it works fine. It's really nice. I got it from China. I got it through Alibaba, and yeah, I just didn't. I don't know why I didn't consider the dimensions on it. I didn't think about it until I was trying to move it in. I realized it wouldn't fit. So yeah, it's just sitting in my driveway collecting.
Is it a credit card reader plus cash, or just both?
Yeah, it's got it's dual combo. So it's the bottom half's refrigerated, the top half is not credit card reader, coins, cash. So yeah, I mean it's nice. It's a nice unit, and it's I have to look at to see how many rows it has, but it's I mean it's very large, as you can imagine. It would fit through our door. So, but yes, there.
I'll buy is there's one that they're coming out with, Cantaloupe's coming out with. It's a freezer. So that's got the electronic lock. So you put your credit card in, it reads the credit card, it opens up the door. And it's called AI, so it's got the cameras, and it will do. So I'll be able to put in like ice cream, Hungry Man dinners, all the frozen dinners, anything frozen, right? Because I can't. So that I'll probably buy one of those. It's probably like $6,000 or something. And then I've got that ice cream machine that I'm testing out at the house. You stick the can in. It's like a K-cup. You stick the can in. So I could put the cans in the vending machines because they're shelf stable. You don't need to cool them. And then people can get soft serve ice cream. And it's really good. My son loves it. So testing that out at the house.
That's pretty cool. The K-cup ice cream. I hadn't seen those. To look into that.
Coldsnap.com. It's slick. It's slick. It's really cool.
Yeah. Oh, hell, we've got some additional people here in the lobby. I couldn't even see the way that my screen was formatted. Let's bring on, we got Stan here. He's one of our sponsors, Load Base. Stan, how's it going?
What's up, guys? How you guys doing?
Good. I'm sorry to see you. The way that my screen's formatted, the second row is kind of hidden from visibility. So I don't know how long you guys have been in backstage there, so apologies for the delay in bringing you.
It's all good. We've been in long enough to get some information on good vending machine strategies.
Yeah, I mean, you never know whatever will come in handy.
No,
I'm just gonna do what John does, man. That guy's making cash everywhere.
Yeah, it's passive for sure. From what it sounds like, I feel like should definitely look into what is it, laundromats. Me and Tyler thought about that too a couple times, but for us, we're just focus on this.
And I've got a friend who does laundromats. It's called like the Laundry Basket in Alabama. He's got like 4 or 5 locations. He kills it. Liquor stores too. He does with it.
How's the new office, guys?
It's pretty good. It's busy.
Nice, I love it. A lot bigger.
Yeah, it is. Tyler started a trend. First day in the new office, he showed up in a nice suit. So now everybody's trying to one up the other, like coming in suits and stuff like that. I woke up kind of late today, so I just tossed on whatever I had and came into office. But we try to hold the standard. But we do our best.
You guys are out in California, right? How's the weather out there?
It's good. It's getting pretty good. We're having a little bit of rain right now, but yeah, the weather's not the problem. When you work in logistics in Cali, you got to be 3 hours ahead. So I'm usually up at like 4:35 every day, and just to be in the office at 6 means I'm dealing with people, 9 a.m. on the East Coast.
Do you like that? Because like we're Reno based, so all of our owners, operations, marketing, they're all West Coast too. Like you get done at what 3, it's kind of like dead in the afternoon, right? So, but then you have to get up early, so it's like trade-off.
It depends. Depends what you do right now, just because of the move and like all the stuff we have going on. Me personally, I'm working from like 6 to 4, 6 to 5, so it's pretty grueling. But yeah, some people like it because I know I have a lot of friends that work in logistics out here too. Sacramento is like a huge hub for Slavic logistics companies, kind of like Chicago, but a little bit smaller. And a lot of the guys work from like 5 to 2, so they'll skip a lunch break, and you're out at work at 2 o'clock. You have basically the whole day to still work, to do whatever you want. So it's nice, but it's just tiring for sure.
Yeah, no, definitely. I was a little late. Sorry, I had to go answer the door. But how's business going for you guys? I know we were just talking about your demo, and Will was talking about it, and you guys got a great product. Obviously, doing well, expanding.
Yeah, it's been good. We actually just hired and started training a sales guy today, just because me and Tyler both have other things that we do too to kind of keep the lights on, if you will. But it's been good. We're growing. We're at a point now where our overhead is basically covered, and we're trying to kind of like go into the market. And we just pushed an update this week to improve our tracking reliability. So now we can do. It's not live, but it's close to live tracking, even if the app's force closed. So it's improved the reliability for our users like by a huge percentage.
Fantastic. We still got to get you on. We were just talking about that. I know you were tied up, super busy with the office move, but we still got to get
when
you
it happens,
on.
it happens. When it happens, it happens.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to force it. Our biggest thing is we just want people to like it. So far, everybody's been liking it. I know TMS integrations has been kind of a big factor for a few people, but right now we're just going one step at a time. It's on the way for sure. But yeah, anytime.
Yeah, we'll have to do it soon. We got one more in the lobby here. I'm gonna bring him out. This is gonna be my first time meeting him, but we've got Ryan here. He is the CEO of Jobs Done. Ryan, you want to give us a quick intro to yourself and what you do?
Yes, sir. Hey guys, thanks for having me. So so I have a logistics company, BCAT Logistics. We started shipping cars, and then from there we moved into getting our own trucks. So we acquired a company, Ivan Cartage, where we have our own assets. And then recently, as of last week, I released this new software called Jobs Done for the trucking industry. And that's kind of part of the reason why I wanted to come on, is maybe show you guys it, give you a little intro into what we do with this new product.
Yeah. No, so you guys, it's a product for basically designed for the trucking. You said jobs.com?
Jobs Done. So it's jobsdone.io.
Okay.
It's correct me if I'm wrong, but from looking at the again, correct me if I'm wrong, but it looks like a POD collection service via text.
Yeah, I could share and give you guys a demo, or if you'd rather me not, that's fine too. But yeah, I'd love to show you guys.
No, yeah, just give us a kind of an overview on. I don't know if we have time to do a full demo on it, but just kind of what you're looking to accomplish with it. What's the kind of the value add for your potential customers, and then we can just go from there.
Yeah, sounds great. So I found with my drivers, a lot of the guys are older. They don't like downloading apps on their phone. And, when we acquired the company, they were scanning PODs into their computer, and it's just a tedious process, right? And so the problem for me when I took over was, all right, now I got all these text threads with all my drivers. I got to figure out where the POD is because they take a picture and send it to me. And it was just taking extra time that I didn't have. So I created something that we started using where essentially, any new company would be given a phone number, and you just tell your drivers, hey, from now on, send your PODs to this phone number. You just take a picture, no app, no anything. From their perspective, all they're doing is sending a photo of their POD to a phone number. And then as a dispatcher, or the person managing the trucking company, you log into a website, all your PODs are displayed by the time that they were sent, with an image of the POD for you to download or label it however you want. And really, it just makes life a lot easier for collecting PODs. And then you can, download them and invoice them right away.
Yeah, that makes sense. It sounds similar. There's a company out of Chattanooga that I want to say was just acquired that has a similar product. But yeah, I mean, so as a brokerage, right, and I don't have any experience on that. Well, I do kind of when I was dispatching trucks, but it's kind of a bitch to get PODs. You wouldn't think it is, right? Especially when you're a broker, right? Like you need this POD to get paid, but here we are, like 6 emails deep, 4 phone calls, and like 2 months later trying to get this POD that nobody can find. So yeah, I mean, I think that sometimes the best solutions are pretty simple. Not to say that your software is simple, but just making something that can be so nuanced, but it shouldn't be just POD collection, right? So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, no, thanks.
Forget too. I mean, there's big trucking companies that talk to brokerage owners and accounting that they'll just forget to send in a bill and never even ask to be paid for it, which is astonishing to me. But
I'll share something about PODs. So there's a friend of mine that used to be the director of logistics some years ago for Sara Lee, and him and I have had some conversations. So Sara Lee has a rule that with their carriers, once the load's delivered, you have 90 days to invoice them. After 90 days, you invoice them on the 91st day, you don't get paid, right? And they would put several million, and I mean several $1 million back into their P&L every quarter because carriers never invoiced them and sent the PODs.
Wow.
It was in the millions of dollars a year.
That's wild. Yeah, I mean, ultimately, I love to market this to brokers, to all the different trades, really, just anyone who needs images stored in one location.
Yeah, JJ, do you when you go in with a lot of these trucking companies, do you ever see anything? Because I mean, you guys are big on you do a lot of things, right? Like one of those things is developing these processes to improve.
Yeah. Yeah. So a lot of TMSs now have some type of app. If they don't have an app, this would actually be a good tool. But one of the suggestions I would make is how to tie that phone number to that driver so it actually uploads under that actual load and does it automatically. So I'm big on automation, right? So instead of sending it just to that phone number, somehow you tie it to the TMS system under that actual load with that phone number and that driver, and at that point it alerts accounting that it's there. Review, boom, it's out the door.
Yeah, that's essentially how it works now. Is you can name the driver, but I think the part you're looking for is more of like an API where it integrates with like your TMS system. So that's the next phase that I want to get into next, is talk to some of these different software companies, TMS systems, factoring companies, so that they can integrate and get the PODs right away based on.
Yeah, if you could do that, like I probably have some customers that would be beneficial of it. That way they don't have to go out and build outside of it. They have systems that don't have that type of technology, right? So they're still utilizing different apps like WhatsApp, Telegram, or email. And that's a pain in the ass, man. I'm telling you, that's old school. BOLs get lost or the images don't come out clear. Hopefully they come out clear on your end.
Yeah, it's just the downloading of the apps that's the pain, and I'm just trying to get past that so that everyone knows how to text, right? So
100%.
Well, cool. Appreciate it, guys.
Yeah, no, thanks for stopping by. It's exciting. Cool product.
Yeah, I'd love to stay in touch. You know, I don't know what sponsorship looks like, but might be interested in some of those things down the road. So appreciate you guys and hope you have a good rest of your day.
Yeah,
Hey,
awesome.
you too.
Well, we'll talk soon.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Ryan.
It's a cool thing. There's so many different angles in the trucking logistics industry. You know, different products, different tech. It's such a big, small industry.
Yeah. There's a lot of pieces to it. Like if you get on the trucking side, there's a lot of pieces. Like I just created an app, and I'll be releasing it soon to do data queue and freight claims, and we're utilizing AI to measure the possibility of certain data queue violations to actual freight claims, so we could actually train people how to hire better drivers and or eliminate drivers. Right now, there's really no good process to actually get all that data, because you go into like a 200 truck company. I mean, there's violations after violations, and some of the same things over and over happen. Like, so if you get a vehicle violation, you could in a vehicle violation, let's just say for brakes, you could have 3 different violations in one, and it's hard to sort through it. But our system will put everything together, dispute the violation automatically utilizing AI. And then it'll give us reports to the actual owner, so they could see, hey, this driver really sucks really bad, and it could cost me a lot of money.
Yeah.
How long is it taking you to build the app?
We're still going through it. It's been about 4 months. 4 months so far, and we've actually started inputting data now, and it's outputting data. It's just like there's bad data, right? And there's good data. So we just need more and more data to actually fix it and fine tune it. Once that works, I mean, it'll make the safety and compliance departments for all trucking companies real simple.
That's definitely a pain point for a lot of trucking company and brokerages. Claims are never fun.
Yeah, they suck. There's not a lot of systems out there that actually manage freight claims, but even from a freight claim perspective for a trucking company, people forget how to utilize that in their accounting. Anything that's open, right, and that's closed, and the value of that open claim, you could offset, and from accounting perspective. And when I consult for trucking companies, they don't understand that these are offsets, right? So it's very beneficial.
Yeah, claims is one of those things that I think a lot of people just don't know much about it, right? I mean, there's even companies that, what they do is they strictly handle claims for trucking companies, right? Just, I don't know, like for example, with us, if when we have a claim, sometimes it's just like the process itself just sucks, like the paperwork, and it takes you out of these normal rhythms. We don't have one particular person that is just the claims guy, right? So like going through it, for us, it's not very efficient right now. So anything to streamline that process, and again, claims just suck in general.
You could be our customer. I was going to show you. Now I text you like I'm doing some stuff, right? That's one of the things that we're doing. Hired a guy that's actually managing the processes now, and making sure that everything's running smooth. I just don't have the bandwidth to sit there and keep fixing things with our developer, right? And then from a high level, you're actually the thing that you want to look at is it being worked on, and is it complete, right? Yeah. So we're going to give them our clients a dashboard to be able to see that. And then at that point, you'll call in to your rep and be like, hey, why wasn't this done? But other things that we're going to measure is like, what type of claim is it, and how many days does it typically take to close out a claim, right? On averages. So let's just say that they had a fender bender, and we could close out a claim in 32 days, right, on average, and something's open at 45. It's going to send alerts and say something's wrong, and make sure that we get it resolved. But there's so many parties involved with it when it comes to claims, right? You got the party that got hit, the party that hit the person, then you got their insurance, your insurance. I mean, there's a lot of moving pieces, and there's no way to really navigate the information. We're able to actually capture all that information, who we talk to, when we talk to them, right, and develop the process for that.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, I've seen it several times for a claim just okay, like it happens, right? And everybody gets the ball rolling, and then people forget about it, and then it goes on for so long, and then at a certain point, it's just like, well, damn, I guess we'll just pay it out of pocket, because I want to keep the customer, but the claim process has been dropped, right? And I think that's a pain point for probably a lot of people. I would imagine.
Well, some are notorious for not paying too. That's a whole nother. They have so many provisions in there that like something could happen and they won't pay.
Yeah. We've had claims on water damage for tarps flatbed loads because the
That's exactly what I was going to say. Progressive.
Yeah, Progressive. And then I haven't had any bad experiences with Lloyd's of London, but that's another one that gets thrown around quite often. Which I don't know too much about the insurance game as a whole, but those are two insurance.
Those were the two that were banned at a brokerage I worked at: Lloyd's of London and Progressive for flatbeds.
They got banned a lot. Got by a lot of companies.
Yeah, when I was dispatching, we had a flatbed out of Fort Worth, and he had Lloyd's of London, and we would call on loads, and they would just be like, "What's the MC? Give it to him." They're just like, "I can't work with you. Click." So, we got to change insurance.
Even from a leasing perspective, like if you're trying to lease trucks from like Penske, they banned certain companies because of the coverage.
Yeah, insurance is a racket. Maybe we should all get together and do a little insurance gig, and then just charge people free, just never pay out on anything.
just charge a premium, charge a premium, and then we're gonna put John as a sales rep.
Well, man, even so where you live, JJ, correct me if I'm wrong, but the homeowners insurance is from my understanding, and I could be way off, right? But I don't you can't get it in certain areas because it's a high flood risk. So my thing is okay, why not? And I'm sure maybe there's some laws preventing this, but why not start a company and offer that insurance? And then if it does flood, just have it protected, just declare bankruptcy.
I mean, that sounds like a good idea.
So I'm going to tell you what about insurance. Don't buy a house in Florida. The only reason I'm insured is because I have a metal roof, and my insurance is $6,500 a year for homeowners insurance with flood and hurricane insurance. I mean, they got a racket going down in Florida.
Yeah, I'd like to be a part of the racket.
Of course.
Yeah.
You guys build it, I'll sell it. I promise. I can talk a pennies off of none. I'll sell it.
Oh, man.
You make any good introductions on that boat, John? I know you're always talking about meeting someone on a trip. No meetings.
You know what? I passed out about 11 or 12 business cards. There's a lot of money here. There's a lot of folks, different folks here. You got to remember this boat holds 7,500 people, so it's pretty large. Yeah. And I've made some connections. Maybe not so much in logistics, but I've made some connections for maybe real estate and finance and some other avenues and things like that as I exit out of this business in a few years.
I don't think you can ever really fully leave logistics, John.
I don't know. Let's see.
I feel like John's the type of person that probably would never leave business as a whole. But like you were saying earlier, John, I could see you taking a step away from the trenches, but always be wheeling and dealing to some extent. Be the guy at the old people home, doing some kind of deals at the dinner.
I'll tell you, be honest with you. Maybe take an avenue similar to what Matt's doing, but make a recruiting component of that. So, we become your in-house source of recruiting. But the way I pay for myself is I'll come into your facility and I'll keep and I'll you don't have to pay someone to be a full-time trainer. I'll come in and train your folks, and you give us the recruiting part of that business. So I kind of see that in 2028 as maybe an avenue that I'll look at and have a comprehensive training program. That's a thought. So it's something that Ryan and I have spoken about with Logi Talent. We talk a lot on the behind the scenes and bounce ideas off each other. Because nobody sees the ROI in training, and I think everybody looks at it. Let's ask, Will, do you have a full-time trainer in your operation?
Yeah, well, so my partner, Logan, that's pretty much all he does now is the training and continued training. And then we have operations manager who doesn't handle any freight, right? Just kind of oversight for any and all things, which is more continued training as well. The GM as well. And then one of our first employees helps with all the graphics on the training. But Logan, my partner, that's pretty much 90% of his focus is on the initial training and then continued training for all of our employees. So yeah, we do see the value in it. And that's one thing that we take pride in. We don't do everything the best, right? That we're trying to get there. One thing we do take a lot of pride in is our training and kind of our benchmarks that we have for our new people.
I mean, I had a boss that said it best years ago, George Gooch, that said, we train every day that ends in Y. And training doesn't have to be in a classroom for an hour. Training can be 15 minutes a day. Just continuing to do a real quick role play, or, to be on the floor, to be able to push that self forward, but maybe, with a new rep and being right there in the trenches with them. And I think that's where 3PLs as a whole don't look at the ROI on the training side. I think I posted about it last week. You can train yourself out of any downturn in industry. I mean, you think about me. I went through 3 recessions in the car business, but we were still selling cars. You just had to train and be laser focused on how to find those buyers because the people are still buying cars, just it's not as many. And you train yourself on the skill set that needs to convert those people from lookers to buyers. And I think 3PLs, that's where they really struggle, is on the training, especially because they're pulling out of these colleges. NTG is pulling out of these colleges, many of these other companies, TQL. Now, I've got to say, talking to enough TQL people in my network, they probably do a decent job at training. I don't always agree that they're getting the cheap labor, so they're paying a guy $36,000 a year. They put him in a training program, basically is covering driving freight for a broker, and then after 6 months they kind of send them on their own. I don't know that that's the path that I would take if I ran a 3PL, but training has its place, and I think that's so. If you can combine all of that together, I mean, and bring it and bring it full circle from the recruiting to the training to execution, I think it is a business model. And unfortunately, I can't do it until 2028. But I think there's a need for it in our industry.
Yeah, so I like what you said about the training, about being in the trenches next to them. So a big thing is just like learning by osmosis, right? So like if somebody's out there that's experienced around the newer people, we like to switch up desk where they might get around somebody else with a different perspective, how they do things, or just one of us out there and still actively brokering freight or like something in real time and kind of like correcting, walking them through it. I think a big disconnect with a lot of people is putting these new people in a training room. And then once they set them out, just kind of being on their way. But everything that they learned, they probably forgot most of it, right? And then just kind of like going back over it and making sure that it clicks before kind of like throwing more on them, right? Like building blocks almost.
Well, you've got to reinforce it. I mean, think of our children. We just don't tell our children how to do something one time or tell them no, and they're going to, remember and do it. I mean, it takes reinforcing that and continuing to train. And there's different angles of training. I mean, you try it this way, it didn't work for you, but try it this way and it clicks. And I think and I believe in people, when they connect with folks, to tell stories, because people will retain about 80% of stories, but only 20% of just flat out classroom training. So when you can really put all of that in together and kind of into a recipe to get a final product, I think will be where you're leveling up in your business. And I've got so many different ideas and so many things on my mind that I believe that would be a positive influence in these young 21, 22-year-old guys. I mean, look, and let's do the facts. I don't know what your churn rate looks like, but we know turnover is really, really in this industry. So if we can reduce that by just 10% as an industry, that would be huge.
Yeah.
And I think training is the biggest component of that.
Well, when you talk about kids, children, and teaching and like them learning, my belief is that, so if I just tell somebody what to do, as opposed to taking the time to like walking through like why we do it. So say like kid does like one thing, you're just like, no, don't do that. They know not to do that in that specific situation. But if you take a step back and kind of apply like the logic and walk them through it, they can take that situation, apply it to others, if that makes sense. And it kind of goes,
it does.
yeah. So you're going like face value book, specific example. So like, yeah, this thing happens, we do this. So if that specifically happens, they'll know to do that. But if it kind of is, you can make it broader, right? And then kind of get them just like the guiding principles on it and values, I guess, operating styles. So it's like different situations. I think that you cover a lot more ground that way.
Absolutely. Guys, I'm going to have to bounce off of here. 5 o'clock dinner. It's Mexican night. Of course, I've never eaten Mexican in my life. I've never ate. So I've never ate Chinese, Mexican, taco, never been to Taco Bell. Now, I have run some drunk girls through Taco Bell at 4 o'clock in the morning after a gig or something.
How have you not eaten Taco Bell or Chinese?
I have never eaten a taco. So they're actually cooking me a steak tonight because I don't eat Mexican or tacos or Chinese or Indian. If it's not American and I can't pronounce it correctly, I don't eat it.
John, I'm going to have to take it to Laredo and McAllen, brother.
Man. Is that right?
Yeah. And all you're going to eat is tacos.
Yeah, I've never had a taco. I'm 52. I've never had a taco, so
missing out.
But guys, be good. God bless. I'm gonna bounce out of here and go eat dinner because I'm gonna lose you in the elevator. Take care.
All right. Let's see it.
Hey guys, I'm gonna bounce out too. I got to drive on I-95, so I appreciate letting me jump on.
Stay safe. 95 is nuts.
It is fucking horrible. Like,
Yeah.
It's the worst part of my day.
All right. We'll talk to you soon. Thanks for coming.
All right, guys. Bye-bye.
Never eaten tacos or Chinese food? What in the world?
Yeah, I don't know, man. That's crazy.
Well, that was a fun impromptu show. And shout out to our sponsors, Multi-Service Fuel Card, been around since 78. Hit up Patricia, Jessica, take a look at their page. Black Box, Will's Company, HG Ships, who I recruit agents for, Stan the man, and Tyler were on the show today. Load Base, we're going to have them on for a full episode here soon. Sales Dash, Freight Specific CRM, we have agents that use it. Will's Companies uses it. Taft's Top 10 Factoring Company, hit up Ryan or Rob. Great people, great communication, and we'll be back sometime next week.
All right, awesome. Well, yeah, I enjoyed it. We'll be back next week.
Yeah, I was kind of ironic thinking about this today. I think everyone on the show was in warm weather in Birmingham, Florida, the Caribbean, California, except me. But
yeah, it's a sign for you to go ahead and get back to Columbia.
Yeah, 100%. All right, I'll see you later.
All right, see you.